IGT. Super excited about this episode. As always, the reason why I'm super excited because I have the National New Agent Trainer, J.D Maher, in the building, and we're super excited. So before we actually do that, I want to go ahead and do this.
Three, two, one.
So, what's up, JD? Welcome to the show.
I see you, brother. I see you.
Man, thank you for being on the show. And
Sure.
I appreciate that the extra tip that you gave me right before we jump on the show. And then I went ahead and did the exact opposite of that. I apologize for that. But you are a true professional in the realm of media work. You've been on TV. You're an amazing new agent trainer. You've helped hundreds of people achieve, a residuals for life passive income through IGT, and to have you on here again, I know we can add some incredible value to the viewers, the audiences, and but for everyone that don't know who you are, JD, would it be okay if you can kind of give a little brief introduction and history of who you are?
Sure. Been married 36 years. My wife is a nurse, professional nurse and a professor at Sac State. I have three grown kids. My son is going to be getting married soon. My youngest daughter is finishing college at Dominican University. I have two grandkids. Live in a beautiful Amador County, which is just kind of east or south of El Dorado County in Northern California. I'm a school teacher. Been teaching elementary school for 38 years. I'm a retired TV meteorologist. I was a past owner of K-12 Solar, past owner of a large solar company where we put solar on schools and churches. I buy low, I sell high through eBay, Facebook. I save my money, and it's nice to have residual income because whatever I make through IGT, Integrated Global Technologies, I put it aside. Look, I don't touch it. I leave it there. So it builds and builds and builds. So I'm happy to be on with you and looking forward to our conversation, and welcome everybody who's watching.
Yes, welcome everyone. You guys are in for a treat because JD bring a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, wisdom, obviously, and man, congratulations! You've done incredible. From transitioning from being an entrepreneur to now educating and teaching and showing people ways how to build residual income and having their money work for them. You're right. Put it to the side. Don't touch it. Let it grow on itself. Compounding interest. I'm a huge fan of that, which is the reason why when I met Dave Kirby, it just caught my attention. I'm like, man, residuals for life. That just makes so much sense. That's the whole goal. I want to stop working and just kind of have that residuals for life. And I know right now, I mean, with the state of economy and the industry, what's going on, there's a lot of like business owners, having to layoffs, right, shutting down doors because the wage hikes. They're looking for ways to kind of cut costs, lower their operation costs. And one thing that I know that we can add value through IGT is taking a look at their operation costs on their phone and internet. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, you and I were talking before about what's in the news, and in
Hmm.
California at least, they've raised the minimum wage to $20 per hour, and there's an ebb and flow to that. If you're a business owner and you're forced to raise the minimum wage, look, already a lot of people are cutting back on hours, cutting back on employees. It has this trickle down effect. On one hand, it's great if you're making $20 plus, per hour, but how does that help if you lose your hours and lose, you know, ultimately you might lose your position? So it's this catch 22.
Hmm.
So again, this is another way where can business owners look to cut costs, save costs, increase their budgets? It's right here. It's right here in front of them because uh, moving businesses from retail, expensive, to wholesale, less expensive, brings them the best product, the best service at the best price in the industry. Listen, so fun. People don't even know that this exists. And a lot of times they'll say, to us, to we agents, they'll say, well, why don't I just call up AT&T myself? They can't do it. They don't have the business relationship. Our owner, Dave Kirby, established this over 26 years ago when the monopolies broke up. And he has one, what is it, only 200 licenses of brokers throughout the entire United States. If you're at home and you meet an IGT agent, a representative of our broker, hang on to them. This is a wonderful opportunity, not only to reduce and lower your costs, but to become an agent yourself and build that residual income, as we say, for life. Because remember this, you sign a client for a 3-year contract. Uh, what client do you know that's going to go back to retail pricing? No one.
Nobody. It's so I want to say it sounds too good to be true, which is some of the reaction that I get to when I introduce this to a client or someone that I'm meeting, and they're like, what's the catch? And I'm like, no, you get better quality service, right? White glove service, and then you'll have the VIP attention from these carriers, and we work with 200 plus carriers. Is that right? Like Verizon, Vonage. Yeah, AT&T, Xfinity, every single one of them. And now they're like, okay, well, it just you're getting better service and lower cost. They're just shocked by that. Have you come across something like that?
Yeah, and again, as I said, most people they don't know that it exists.
Yep.
And the wholesale pricing exists because we have bulk contracts. This is a lot of our clients will ask these frequently asked questions. How can you guys reduce our phone or internet by 30, 40, sometimes 50%? And during our training, because every Monday night I've got 2 or 3 new agents.
Yeah.
We're on a go to meeting call and I'm explaining them. I go through the slides, I train them, take baby steps. And so many times we tell them that we have these bulk agreements, bulk contracts. I talk about the Costco analogy.
Mhm.
You're able to go to Costco and buy a massive amount of paper towels, but the unit price is smaller. And it's the same thing with us. We bring so much volume to the consolidateds, the net to phones, even AT&T. We bring so much volume that when they hear us coming, they roll out the red carpet. No longer will you at home watching this as a client have to be on those long wait lists, those the phone numbers where you have to punch, punch, punch. You don't get the right person. Those days are over because these businesses, as you know, Sofan,
Right.
they have a whole department on wholesale, but it's the little best kept secret. And you talked about what were you talking about? Trust. What
Right.
is the catch? Look, we're programmed to look for the catch. I think that's good if you're a business owner. What's the catch? You don't want to be taken, you know. So that's crucial. But what we do is we work on referrals. I always train our agents. You start with people whom you know, love, and trust.
Mm.
There's so much low hanging fruit out there. Everyone has a phone bill. Everyone has an internet bill. Everyone wants faster bandwidth. Everyone wants somehow to reduce the cost. Hey, we do this on our phone and our cell phones all the time.
Hmm.
Maybe you've noticed the price of cell phone technology continues to drop. It used to be 6 lines for this price. Now it's 4 lines, and it's all of it is almost under $100. The same thing's happening on the wholesale side of the telecommunications market. And let's say our friends at home, they're not too tech savvy. That's okay. You don't have to know about truncated systems or WAN or SP. You don't have to know all that stuff. What we do is we find the business, we find the client through our relationships that we
Yes.
already know. We're not doing cold calling. We're not knocking on doors. Hey, you want to do that? Fine. But that's where that trust gets gets cut out. Well, people don't know you from Adam. How do they know?
Hmm.
So we train our agents. Look, you got to look sharp. You're going out. You're going to wear your IGT shirt. There's no cost to become an IGT agent. There's no cost. All of your business cards are supplied at no cost to you. What we call our mailers
That's
or our leave
phenomenal.
behinds. You don't have to pay for those. Your shirt. All we ask is that you use these, you pass them out, you bring in business. It just takes baby steps. But trust is important because unfortunately, maybe it's the time we live in. People just, they've lost trust. They've lost trust in people.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have someone's trust, it kind of opens the door and a lot of opportunities to do everything. And how I build, and I learned this from also Ben Martinez. He's the national Kickstarter coach, and I love what he said. He said, "I like to do business with people I do business with." So we're going out there, we're spending money with businesses already, right? And if you just ask them for the business, say, "Hey, you know what? I like to do business with people I do business with. Would it be okay to see if I can help you lower your operation costs with your phone and internet. Let's take a look at it. On average, we're saving people up to 36. Like he has this, it's amazing. And yes, people already like you. And a lot of times, when I meet people, I can tell they're already natural leaders. They're a center of influence. So they know a lot of business already. And now this is a way to, bring more, add an extra added value to the relationship by leveraging IGT, right? A wholesale telecom broker to help them, you know, be a hero, really. One of my clients I actually sat down with the other day in an appointment. When I showed them the opportunities, how we can help them reduce his operation costs, and the way he looked at it, right, JD, he said, "So you're giving me a pay raise?" I'm
It's
like,
good.
"Yeah, kind of, yeah. We just cut your costs down, and now you're recapturing, the money that you're already spending, and maybe the resources you can reallocate in other areas, help expand, repair, maintenance, attract labor, talent, new talent. That's super hard too right now these days. A lot of labor cuts and find the right talent to be in your business. So, I love the fact that we're have a system in place. People like you, JD, Ben Martinez, Randy Wilson, you guys doing going above and beyond the extra mile. I mean, I'm sure we're at what 500 agents now. You trained so many agents already,
Yeah,
right, JD?
we're at 5:05. And if I may, I'm gonna look right into the camera. I'm gonna talk to the people who might be watching this. So let's ask a few rhetorical questions here for our audience members to answer within their own mind. So first, let's talk to someone who's looking for maybe residual income, right? Let's talk to that person. Maybe that's you at home. You having trouble paying bills? Are you looking for a way to build additional income, as we say, for life? When we say for life, because if your client signs a 3-year contract, as I mentioned before, what kind of a fool is going to go back to retail price? They're not going to. So, what do you need in your life? Do you want to retire early?
Hmm.
Are you looking for that residual income where, yes, you're going to work smart? I don't say work hard. You're going to work smart for a certain period of time. And maybe after a year or two, you could build up your income, 40,000 extra dollars. Listen, we tell our agents that if you put in maybe 6 to 10 hours a week, even on top of a full-time job, and you are seriously committed to building what we call in the industry your pipeline, you can, I don't want to over exaggerate, you can bring in $100,000 or more. You can. Again, I don't want to hype it because a lot of businesses will do that. And keep in mind, we are not a network marketing company. We're not a
Yep.
pyramid, far from it. If you bring someone in whom you know, love, and trust, as I like to say, IGT will reward you with a small little override. If you're bringing people in, but that's not our main function. Our main function is to bring a blessing, because we do wear our faith on our sleeves. We're proud of the fact that we share our faith, and we bring blessings to people. And
Yes.
in return for that, those blessings come back to us tenfold, intrinsically inside our heart and extrinsically with residual income. It's a win-win.
Definitely a win-win, and I love the fact that everyone in our team, in our circle, that involved with the IGT, we are definitely have the same. We're like-minded. We believe in obviously residuals for life and passive income, and with faith-based too as well. So I want to welcome you guys from all walks of life. I came from the insurance industry. Mr. J.D Maher, he came from the media, the solar company, and you've done a lot of like ministries as well. You've done missions as well with involved with your church. So, people from all walks of life can jump into this and just build a passive income. And you guys have to get in contact with us. Here's the QR code. I don't want to rush to the next segment, JD, but we can continue on a little bit. But I do have 3 quick questions for you before we end this amazing podcast. If it's okay, can we move forward with that?
Let's go for it.
Awesome, awesome. So 3 quick questions. All right. Um, Number one. All right. What is your favorite quote?
All right, I'm going to start with this one. I think my dad, there's 5 Mar boys in our family, but my dad was a staff sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, and he kind of raised us military style, but he always had a motto. Whenever we left the house, he would say, "Give the house a good name," and that was passed on for 3 generations, all the way back to my great great grandfather, who fought for the Confederacy, not the Confederacy, but for the Union Army to free the slaves in the
Wow.
Civil War. Give the house a good name. And I love Jordan Peterson quotes too. Not
Yeah.
doing your best affects everything. Not doing your best affects everything and everyone. So I got to throw my dad in there.
I love both of that. I don't know which one. They're great.
Well,
Those are
hey,
great.
and as I raised my kids, we raised them the same way. Give the house a good name, but we also added one. Make it look like you never been there, which my dad used to say. But I taught my kids, make it look better. When you're cleaning up, you go to somebody's house, hey,
Yeah.
make it look like you never been there. And I added as a dad, make it look better.
Make it look better. Oh, wow. I love it. Okay, so second question, right? We can get to know JD a little bit more, you guys. Second question: if you can have a superpower, what superpower would you have?
Well, this may sound very altruistic and very corny. I would like to have the superpower to bring world peace. And I know that seems so big, but let me tell you why. You know, we as Americans, I mean, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hmm.
And if I had the superpower to end wars, what is it all about? I mean, one of my greatest passions is cooking. I make the best ribs you've ever tasted. I've got my chicken barbecued. I love to barbecue. It's pursuit of happiness. To see a friend bite into J.D Maher's incredible ribs and they say, these are the best ribs I've ever had. I mean, that's happiness. So I know it went a different direction, but
It's
if
all
I
right.
could solve, if I could work toward world peace, you know,
World peace through food. His ribs. There you go. All right. Last question: who is your role model?
that's a good one. Well, of course, Jesus Christ, because
Mm,
there's
amen.
perfection that we're always striving to reach toward that as Christian men, to follow in that path. So I have to say that. But
Love it.
I would have to say my wife Tammy, she was a bedside nurse for 14 years. She literally went back to school while our kids were young.
Wow.
I learned how to do, 101 things. How do you prepare a tortilla in 100 different ways with my kids? She went back to school and got a second degree, Bachelor of Science in nursing, was a bedside nurse for 14 years at Mercy Folsom, terrible on her back, but saved lives, was there when people were dying, prayed for her patients, assisted in doctors. And now she's a nurse educator at a new hospital in kind of an administrative role, but in charge of education for new nurses, new employees. And she teaches clinicals at through Sac State as a professor at Mercy Folsom. She has, every semester a group of young nursing students, men and women. So I would have to put her right there.
Wow, Tammy, you are amazing. What you are a natural a hero, a role model, and that's wow. Put the two of you guys together. That's you guys are actually saving lives and making the world a better place and making it look better. And I love that. That's awesome, JD. Now we're at the end of our show, and I want to just encourage anyone who listens to this, right, who's seen the podcast. You guys heard JD, right? We can be a blessings to others, be a blessing to the businesses that you work for, the business that you do business with, and just helping them reduce their operation costs, helping them, free up these resources so they can put in other areas of the business. Before I cut out, any final thoughts you want to add to this, JD?
Um, Anybody who's watching this, there's no catch to this. We do the training for you. You have one mandatory training, but we just don't train you and leave you hanging. It doesn't cost you anything to be trained. It doesn't cost you anything. Uh, Nobody gets fired as an agent. I mean, you just go kind of in the dormant mode, but that's ridiculous. Uh, Everything's provided for you. You don't have to put in any money. It's all provided for you. We just ask that you build your pipeline, bring in business, not only for IGT, but for you, and to lower those costs to bring a blessing. But the training is not that difficult. And the training is ongoing every month from our carriers, the internet companies and the phone companies during their lunchtime and a couple times a month. And then we have once a month sales training. It's ongoing. We're not just going to train you and say, all right, see you later. Good luck. No, it doesn't work that way. It's a wonderful opportunity. So carpe diem, seize the day.
Seize the day, the man of many quotes, and I love having you on, JD. I really appreciate you. All the hard work you put into IGT, and you've been involved, and you made a huge difference. And you are naturally a role model as well, and also a hero. So, my man, thank you for being on the show.
I'm watching you, brother.
I love it.
I
I
like what
love
I
it.
see. You're doing great stuff.
Thank you so much, JD. Um, Before we let you go, there's a message from Dave Kirby.
President of IGT, I got to pay somebody. Might as well be you.
Yes, that's the man right there. You guys, this is the end of our episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. My man, J.D. Maher. Hopefully, you guys take action. I encourage you to, make a difference, be a hero for your family, start building residuals for life. This is the podcast to be on. Share, subscribe, like, comment, and, tell other people about this because we're looking for you. And just like JD said, he got his eyes on you. So, all right, you guys, until then, stay blessed until you get there. Keep doing it big. I'll see. JD, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
All right.
3, 2, 1.